Challenges are good because it's through those challenges that we grow and evolve the most.
We do evolve with challenges. That's how we get better in life. Overcoming adversity is something that everybody has to go through in life. But when you're actually going through it, right in the middle of a hard time, it sucks. What would you say to people who are going through a hard time in their life?
Breathe through it, because life doesn't always go our way, right?
Right.
It doesn't. I mean, but we're an accumulation of all of our experiences in life today. Everything, perceived negative ones and the positive ones and all of them. But we really do learn the most from those challenges that we go through, assuming we can move through them.
Right.
Now, the issue is, can we move through them? And many people refuse to, take them head on, and they resist. A challenge is something you can overcome. A challenge is something you can grow from, and that's what we do. So if we view it in that way, okay, this is something that's presented itself. Okay, here's an opportunity for me to grow. Okay, that's a different way to look at things, instead of just saying, oh my gosh, oh woe is me, how did this happen to me, why me, why me? And if you look at it and just change and flip the perspective a little bit of an opportunity, it's an opportunity now through this challenge for me to evolve.
Yeah. Without having hard times in our life, we don't evolve. And I think when we look back on our life, we realize our biggest periods of growth were during those periods when we were challenged, when hard times happened. But I also want to caution this idea that when you're in it, you do have to, I think, perceive it as a challenge that you will get through, and you have to be aware of it. But you also have to give yourself permission to mourn, or whatever it is that you have. So it's not like, you can't say, well, I'm just going to get through this. It's a challenge. You have to, feel the pain and understand it, and understand that that a better day is coming. Because sometimes when you get into this, it's easy to think, well, what does Paul know? He doesn't know. I just had a tragedy where I lost family members or whatever, right?
Yeah, my brother has passed away, my dad, my mom. I've seen other people that I'm close to lose their loved ones, and that's probably the greatest challenge of all, right? It's someone you've been around and loved and no longer here on this planet. So, I get that 100%, and you have to feel that and recognize that and go through that process. But at some point, you need to flip the switch, because you can just stay there for a long, forever.
Yeah, you can.
And that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, and not to make this whole topic just about death, because there's a million challenges in life, and death and dealing with the loss of loved ones.
Get fired,
yeah, it could be any number of things. But yeah, there are people.
There's a woman, Sue Frederick, who wrote a book, I See Your Dream Job, a very spiritual person. But her point is, if you get fired, say thank you.
Right.
I must have been on the wrong path. Right. Again, that's a perspective shift in how to look at things. Instead of saying, how could you do this to me? I don't deserve this. I mean, I'm way better than that. I'm way better than Bobby over there, and he doesn't even know what he's doing. And I know what I'm doing. You become defensive, and you defend, and that's all ego. Instead of looking at, okay, I guess this is not the spot I was supposed to be in.
Right. My first job out of college was I worked in real estate for 9 months. And my boss famously told me that if I studied the real estate listings as much as I did the sports page, I'd already be a pretty rich guy. And so it's the only job. He didn't actually ever fire me. I think he just said, I think it's time for you to move on, which is a nice way of getting fired. Yeah, at the time it was a little bit demoralizing, because now I had to go out and find a job and, admit to my parents and everybody in my life that I didn't, have a job any longer. So, but I really was never angry at the guy. But now in retrospect, looking back, not only was I not angry at him, I like you said, I didn't say thank you to him, but if I could go back and say thank you, Ken Cusway, thank you. That was his name, Ken Cusway.
Good job.
Yeah, I was not in the right place. So getting fired was the best thing that could have happened to me.
That's the way we need to view and live life, because we need to adapt.
Right.
But we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Right.
Right? We just don't. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and who knows what tomorrow's going to be like. So we got to go with the flow. We got to go with it. We got to move through it. Yeah. And when we do, and we recognize it for that, and know that we can't control. We all want this thing called control. Like, well, I have a job. I'm making money, and so we're not here to just have a job.
Right.
That's not why we're here.
Right.
We're here to change the world in our small way or our big way or whatever way we can. That's why we're here. It's not just to earn a buck to put food on the table. It's to make a difference.
Yeah, and I guess in that moment you also don't, you're in the moment, and it doesn't seem oftentimes like this is a good thing, but oftentimes those things that happen that are negative, you look back on and you say, wow, that negative thing that happened led me to something else, and that other thing that it led me to is infinitely better than if I had stayed in this thing that I was lamenting to lose. And again, on a personal level, I went from a job in real estate, which I was not cut out for and didn't enjoy, didn't love. I did it just because I thought I had to I ended up working at a magazine called Exposure, which I loved. I loved the job. I loved my years there. And it got me into the media industry. And here we are right now talking about what we're talking about because we met making a documentary film that I directed and you produced. And none of that happens if I don't get fired from my real estate job and then go into a magazine job and completely change the direction of my life. So that bad thing that happened was actually a very, very good thing.
It's not the situation that causes the angst. It's our reaction to it.
Right.
Right? And that's what we're talking about here is sort of shifting the perspective of how we respond to these so-called mishaps that occur in our life, right? And again, to your point, there's no such thing as a bad experience, okay? Right. If you're paying attention to it.
Learning from it.
And growing and moving through it, right? So if you view life that and believe that you deserve the best life possible, it's all gonna work out. It's all gonna work out.
You know who I really put it into perspective for me very well is you and I were having a conversation with our friend Dr. Glenn Fox from USC, who's a neuroscientist, and he was talking about when these moments happen in your life that are challenging, I would say hard, you would say challenging, to be curious and go, God, I don't feel good right now. This is really having, I'm having angst. I'm having a hard time. But to kind of think about it and work your way through it and understand it rather than just rebel against it, and to kind of accept it and analyze it, which I don't think any of us do. When we're just going through a hard time, we're going through a hard time, and that's what we're lamenting. And we don't really think about, well, why am I feeling this way? What can I do to be better, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, resistance is the issue. Resistance creates tension. Mm-hmm. It's not flow. Right. You're not in flow state when you're resisting what's going on out there. Think about water. Think about Bruce Lee. You use the force of another in martial arts to the benefit of yourself, right? And you use it against the other person. You don't resist what's coming, you move with it, right? And water, if you try and build a dam, it's gonna find its way around it, right?
Right.
So view yourself like water in the flow of life. And if you do that, you're gonna be happy. You're gonna have a lot of peace.
Yeah. I think the other thing is it builds empathy too, right? When you have a challenge, because your challenge that you went through makes you more empathetic to my challenge when I go through the same challenge. So what we're doing is we're not only learning things that benefit our own lives, but it gives us that ability to help other people when they're going through their hard times in life, or challenges in life, as you like to say.
I do like to say it. Yeah, of course. Of course. It's anything that you can experience yourself, and our lives are all different, so there'll be different experiences, but just things that present challenges for us. If we have those, then we're more able to assist others as they go through their moments in life that are not pleasant. And you're right, it does create a bit of empathy. Those people that I think have experienced some radical things in the world, it's hard for anybody to maybe wrap our heads around that. And it's impossible for us to do that.
For you and I, but
for
somebody else
yes.
who maybe had gone through whatever that radical thing
That's
is,
true.
that's the one person who they can lean on. You like to say our greatest gift is the pain. Well, you say the line, please.
Our greatest gift is that which we wish had been offered to us when we were in our deepest pain. Right. Our greatest gift or work is that which we wish had been offered to us when we were in our deepest pain.
So in other words, the thing that I have gone through my ability to take that pain that I had and empathize and counsel and help you, because now you're going through that pain, is our greatest gift that we can give to others. And so our challenge that we went through now becomes something that we can offer as a gift to somebody else, because we've gone through those waters and we know what they're like, and we can help each other in those ways.
It's your motivation too, to move you into that direction. And because you've experienced it, when you've experienced, you know what that experience is. Right. And if you didn't have support, resources available to you, whatever it might be, there's a business opportunity there. There's an opportunity or a nonprofit opportunity for you to provide something for others that are going to be experiencing the same things. And you're going to be able to connect at a very deep level because of your experience.
Right. And I think the last thing I'd say about this topic is that it builds confidence. When you've gone through a struggle and come out of it a better person, you feel stronger, you feel better. You feel like, hey, you know what? That thing didn't knock me down. I was able to overcome that challenge. And because I've overcome that challenge, I'm now a stronger person. And so overcoming those challenges does build confidence. So as you're going through it, it sucks. But getting through it makes you a stronger person, makes you a more confident person, a person who knows that they can overcome anything that comes their way in life.
It builds an internal constitution in you and a belief.
Right.
Belief that, okay, now I did this. I've moved through this thing that was very challenging and set me back a long way, and believing that, hey, I can handle anything. That was pretty tough, pretty challenging for me. I could handle it.
Yeah, and you often like to say that the one reason we're here on Earth is to evolve, and we don't evolve in any way more than when we go through challenges.
No, that's why they're great. I gave a talk one time to a group of high school students, and I asked the question, hey, do we learn and grow a lot when things go great? Like things are really clicking for us and happening for us. Are we learning and growing? Not one hand went up. I go, okay, when we have a challenge that we're able to move through and overcome, do we learn and grow from that? Every hand went up, right?
So even kids as young as high school age,
yes,
very much well understood that.
Yeah. So if that's the case, and the reason we're here on this planet is to grow and evolve, then challenges are good, right? Challenges are not bad. Challenges are good. Again, perspective of how you view what you're experiencing, what you're going through. If you view it like that, you'll be unstoppable.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
This is the part where we're supposed to tell people to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Okay, will you please do that then? I mean,
Yeah.
if you enjoy it,
Yeah.
please do.
And if you don't, do it anyways, because we need your help.
We do.
Also, we have a website called GameChangeNation.com. Just go there and subscribe and you'll get tons of free content.
And what we're really trying to do is create a community of people that love sports.
Yep.
And the great lessons that we learn from sports, but we want to hear from you.
We do. So we're going to have a bunch of social media pages from TikTok to Instagram to Twitter to Facebook. Instagram, I probably already said all of them. Please join them and tell us your stories. We'd love to hear from you. Oh, and we wrote a book.
Oh,
Forgot about that.
Forgot that.
The book is called Through the Tunnel. It's available on Amazon now. If you go straight down here to this link that you can see below us, you will be able to purchase it. We'd love it if you could do it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.